370. We got there. Took a while, but we got there. Show 370. I'm the host of Fans of Patrol. My name is Montego, Mr. Button all the way up to the top. With me is my co-host, Miss Tifflebot. What's going on with you this week, Tiff? As I'm a little
not much. We watched a lot of hours of media for this show.
Yeah,
this week.
yeah, and as well as the Patreon, that slides on into the week.
That's what I'm saying. All the work for this week, and then I went to the movies for other reasons. So.
Oh yeah,
you went a lot of times watching movies. Yeah,
that's all right. That's all right. So man, we got a good show, man. So what are we doing this week? So we have some horror movie news that we'll talk about once we get into the show. And this comes out soon, which surprised me. Because normally summertime movies.
Gotta wait,
right? But not this time. Also, man, we have a little Fast and the Furious news. We had other news stories to talk about, but we thought this one would be better. So if you're a Fast and Furious fan, which I know a lot of people are, even for the ridiculousness of, what is Fast and Furious, they like that, and they just let it go. And I had that attitude for a while, Tiff, and then, 7 movies in, I was like, okay.
It's hard to maintain your love. It's like a really long-term relationship where the other person is starting to get a little bit on your nerves.
Yeah, because it's like
you're like, well, I still kind of like you, but you're getting really ridiculous. And I hate the way you eat salad.
Right. Woo. Yeah, so we actually have some news about that. I think it'll be a little interesting. Also, man, we do it in a one shot, man. So it's been out for a little bit of time. If you're a fan of DC and things like that, then you probably have already checked out the Peacemaker. So we're doing a one shot of John Cena's John Gunn.
James Gunn, John Cena, Peacemaker.
Yeah. And our final topic from the day, we had to go rummaging through the back a lot, y'all, to go find something to do for the show this week, man. And we found one. What's the name of the movie, Tiff?
Don't Look Up.
Don't Look Up. Leonardo DiCaprio, which is not getting rave reviews for this movie. So, y'all calm the hell down. We'll talk about it and we'll get into it on the show. Saying all that, you ready to go, Tiff?
Yeah.
So let's roll. We have returned. It's time to get it on, man. Before we do, let's hear a little social media, Tiff.
Absolutely. For everything Fans of Patrol, go to fansofpatrol.com. Then where you can email us at fans@fansofpatrol.com and get to us on social media at Fans of Patrol on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We're on YouTube now with videos of us talking to each other and other things. Check out our Patreon and listen on your favorite listening platform.
And there we go. Nice and simple pimple. So, man, here we go again. So Netflix delivers. It's always something coming from Netflix. And I was surprised at this one, Tifflebot. Just when, a studio or a story has had 17 billion renditions, seems like 3 a decade. I'm talking about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which Netflix has said, voila, here's Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but it looks to be like a prequel, like they're doing now. Like they're kinda, acting, bringing in some of the old and then bringing the new.
But I don't know. Everyone's got cell phones in this one.
So I think it's new though. So I think it's like it.
Oh, so they're saying they're saying it didn't happen before. It's happening now. No, because the lady goes back. It's not a prequel.
No, not a prequel, a sequel. I think it's a sequel.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Same name. Yeah. It has the same name.
Yes, it's a follow-up.
Yeah. Which is a better explanation of a follow-up opposed to being a bona fide sequel. Because now with these sequels, they're eliminating movies that were in between or
sure,
all kind of stuff. So I don't know, y'all. I've never been a huge. Let me be honest. I've never been a fan of this series. I saw the original. And then I saw that one, they did a bunch more, and it was one with Jessica Biel in it. And
I like that one.
I saw that one, and it was just like, and then now here we are again, and I'm like, God damn, how many of these damn things? Oh, dude.
Here's the thing, whatever, right? At a certain point, if you have a franchise, you either have to find a way to make it way different than what you had, or you are rewriting it, I guess. But I prefer a kind of horror franchise that descends into silliness a little bit. My problem with this is it looks exactly like the Halloween movies, like almost to like beat per beat.
Yeah.
He comes back and that lady wakes. She's like, I've been waiting 27
Oh,
years for this.
right. I noticed
And
that.
she puts a bunch of weapons in it. I was like, should somebody be sued?
Well, they all stole from each other, and even back in the day, everybody stole from Halloween originally, and started doing hacker slasher films,
Right,
Friday
but there's a
13th,
difference
whatnot.
between doing a film with that has been influenced by another film and doing a
Uh,
film that is the exact same as another film.
yeah. So it seems, I agree, to follow the same
That
pattern.
I was
Yeah,
surprised that like, I mean, not for obviously she's old, right? Jamie Lee
right.
Curtis is old, but like
Yeah,
it's just the way that she's acting.
the same
Even
kind
some
of
of the like
cowboyish
things that
stuff.
she's saying, I'm almost like, did she say that?
Yeah. So it's that rough, gruff cowboy,
Um,
which also you can't say Halloween did it first, because they need to be sued. Because if you think about the last Terminator movie, Terminator Genesis, it was the same thing. The mother was rough and
Wait,
gruff. And
which one's the Genesis
that's the
one?
one with the Latino woman where they really rebooted everything, and Arnold
Oh,
Schwarzenegger.
I never saw it.
Yeah, well, it was the same exact thing. The mom from Sarah Connor, the original, came back. She was rough and gruff, and I'm gonna handle this shit. It's the same kind of thing. So Halloween can sue no one. You go ahead and just Terminator sue them because it's the same.
All I'm saying is, I guess I don't care about that part. I mean, I don't know. I did kind of like the part in the bus where he was killing everybody.
The part of the bus
I
was a
also
little
like.
interesting.
I was like, well, maybe I will watch this one if it's more like this, or when he hit that guy in the head with a hammer. That was pretty good.
Maybe there should have been a red band trailer too.
Yeah, that the hammer hitting was a bit I was just like, I remember actually I was gonna tell you, I was like, I know exactly what I'm gonna say about this trailer. I'm gonna say I was bored. And right as I was thinking that, the guy gets hit in the head with a hammer, and I was like, oh, okay.
Oh damn. Well, what stood out to me was the cell phones on the bus, and then
Yeah.
then the gutting on the ceiling, and I was like,
Yeah, it
this
really
was
got
nice for a
him.
trailer. Goodness gracious, god damn.
Well, I enjoy, like, if we're gonna do this,
Mhm.
let's just be as stupid as possible.
Well, it didn't look like they were trying to be stupid. It looked like they was
Well, that
being
looked really
studious.
stupid. Not like stupid, not stupid in like it looked good. Does that make sense? Like, it didn't look unprofessionally done or anything like
Yeah,
that, and it made sense. It looked
yeah,
stupid in the way that, like, clearly one just like in all slasher films, one man is not gonna kill all the people on that bus. It's
yeah.
unlikely, right? Even though he has a chainsaw.
Yeah, he do got a big chainsaw.
I
He
mean,
got a
like,
big face.
I mean, I also maybe it happens, but like, well, they're making commentary about how everyone has a cell phone, right? I was really
Right.
surprised if someone didn't pull out a gun.
Well, yeah, because especially
Because
in
you know
Texas.
what really everybody has is a gun.
Especially in Texas. Come on, man.
Yeah, so
Nobody's armed. They're
stuff
all
like
like,
that, right?
you're like, no, they all like, clack, clack, let's go.
Right. And if he killed them, I would probably think that was really funny, a great horror movie moment. Maybe it'll happen. Let's give it a chance, maybe. I don't know. I'm not super into it. How are you feeling about it?
I never cared about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I was just a little taken aback that they were literally doing it again. And
Yeah.
it's like, damn. I mean, because I don't know how much money these movies makes, but it's always like every time I see this one pop up, I'm always like, damn, really? Okay, I guess it's a bunch of Leatherface fans out there. Ugh,
I do
yes.
think that it's very, very beloved, but I also think that horror films are traditionally like can be made for less money and
Oh,
have
of
like,
course.
you know what I mean? So they get a bigger
I got
return
fifty
on their
dollars for the
investment.
camera. Let's go out
Right.
there and make a few $1,000,000, with my 50 cents of the camera.
And they also like if you have an established character, you're probably a little bit even more safe.
To a certain extent, because then they get to the point where they're just like with the Freddy Krueger's franchise and the Jason franchise is putting out garbage, and if that's if that's living for you, then so be it. But it just been a lot of bad horror movies. But here we go with this, and so this, I guess this was on Netflix, so you don't even have to go to the theater to pay for it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can see
Well,
it.
you have to pay for Netflix if you want it, but you don't have to leave
Yeah,
your home.
I've been paying for Netflix so long, I forget, that
Yeah,
it's a
I know that's how they get you.
that's how they get you, right? And
You're
the
like, it
bill
would
didn't
probably
look like
take It would take me more of my monetary effort to get on here and cancel it than it would just let it keep going.
I
That's how
canceled.
Netflix gets you.
I canceled Hulu once. It was hilarious. It was
What the fuck? Are you serious? I would give up Netflix first for sure.
right before you press the cancel button. They showed a video that was streaming that was all saying like, "Don't do it, don't do it, don't do it." It's all these like stars, like
Are you
different shows.
serious?
Don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. You know, all this stuff. Peter Griffin, you know, somebody in Star Wars. It was like just boom, 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 boom. It was hilarious. I was like,
Oh, I fucking hate that. I hate that so bad. That makes me retract my statement and want to go fucking cancel Hulu right now.
you're not canceling Hulu, so
I'm
that's
not, but I want to. That makes me sick.
It was funny. It was funny. I liked it. I thought it was hilarious. You know, because I mean,
Ugh.
it was everything. Yeah.
It's like when you fucking go to unsubscribe from a fucking newsletter and they're like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "Bitch, yes, you didn't even ask me to begin with."
Yeah, you got that right, man. I want out. Most of the time, it's like a hidden thing. Get out. You know, you're like, shit, I don't know, where I go now? You know, you bastards.
I know. You like, "Are you sure?" And then at the very bottom, it's like, click this dot, click this
Yeah.
pixel to cancel your subscription to our newsletter.
They put unsubscribe in the smallest font possible to man. So anyway, man, what are we talking about? So that's it
Jason Momoa.
for that. Hopefully we don't have to see that movie, but if we do, you know, whatever. That's the only way I'll watch it if it's for the show. Honestly, I'm not interested. But you are.
All
You
right.
will watch this.
No, I don't know. Maybe.
Okay. Oh, so okay. So there's no commitment on either side of the table. I like that.
No. Yeah.
All right, man. So you know, we were going to talk about the new Halo trailer, but we kind of already talked about that already. So Tiffany came up with some news. What do you have here, Tiff?
So it is confirmed that Jason Momoa is going to be in the Fast and the Furious 10 F10.
Jason,
F10 to Space and Beyond. Space and
yeah!
Beyond.
Momoa. that's how you got to say it.
Yeah.
Momoa. Shit. Wow. First of all, where do I start? One, they're doing a Fast and Furious 10. Now we knew this because we had that Hollywood beef with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who's recently just admitted after we did our story, admitted that he think he had a kind of a bad day and he went too far with the whole thing.
Woo! Oh man, how come you didn't say anything? That's way to walk it back.
Right. right.
Jesus.
Yeah, he said it wasn't one of his finest days, and you know.
For the love of fuck, come on, man.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus.
Yeah,
I'm actually really mad. I can't believe that you didn't suggest that as something we talk about. Fuck this shit. I predict Fast and Furious 11. Here comes fucking The Rock.
Here comes The Rock. So that happened, and you know, so all the while, this Jason Momoa character is, in my opinion, absolutely the replacement Rock character. Not that he's replacing the character, but just the superstar stand.
They need this person, yeah.
Yeah.
No details, really.
Jason, you're Aquaman right now. You got an HBO show that's been doing pretty decent. You're getting a divorce, so that's unfortunate, you know. So maybe you just got a lot of time on your hands, you know, unless they're paying you a butt ton of money, which they're probably doing, because I hear most of the stars who come to that franchise be like, oh yeah, the paychecks is there. I don't know why you would do this movie, you know. I mean, he would probably fit right in, though. He would probably fit right in. Just, you know, he's probably be on a motorcycle, looking like a big rough biker.
He's on a motorcycle. He's 100% on a motorcycle.
Yep.
You wrote the movie. 100. It's over. It's over.
Right.
The motorcycle rides over a rainbow and explodes into glitter on the other side.
I'm Don's cousin's brother, sister's boyfriend, husband, and I've been here family. The whole time.
It's family.
Right.
Oh yeah. I'm also an extremely talented street racer. We just haven't been talking about it.
Unless
they haven't needed me on all the times that the entire fucking world was threatened for some reason. They've never needed me before, but here I am.
Just like Tom's brother. Goodness gracious. So
Tom's brother.
Maybe he'll do something you know, interesting and be a pretty decent bad guy, because we have never seen him being a bad guy, you know, ever. Unless he I mean, he was kind of a bad guy for 5 minutes in Game of Thrones when he was playing at Dothraki, and you know, all that shit was going on for 5 minutes. I would
say no, maybe. Yeah.
I mean, you didn't like him because he was like assaulting the woman on a regular basis on HBO. He's just like,
Yeah, I agree with you, but I think that it was not presented that way, was it? I think they were kind of Because she, even at the end, wasn't she always like, I love him?
Yeah, well, it changed. She took control of the
got it.
relationship and stuff like that. But that was
I
just
never
the way
watched it.
this way his people roll. But I'm saying that's the closest thing to a bad guy that I've seen him in. You know, unless it's just some hidden gems out there that maybe some of you guys might know about. You know,
oh yeah, let us know.
That when he was a bad guy. I remember he did Conan the Barbarian, and it was like awful, awful, awful. And then he didn't have a career after that for the longest time. And then his career picked back up with the Game of Thrones. And then even after Game of Thrones, he said nothing was going on with him. You know, then stuff started picking up. So I get the payday, Jason. I get it, man. But, you know, it's not going to be anything exciting. I mean, he was just in Dune. Isn't that interesting? You know?
Yeah. I thought, but he's done with that.
Oh, he doesn't have a character in the next movie. What happened?
Didn't
to his
he
character?
die?
I don't remember anybody dying. You know, but
I think he died.
He died. Oh, so he's through. Okay.
Spoilers. Spoilers, everybody.
So much for me paying attention, you know.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was a little long.
yeah, it was. Twas long.
I enjoyed it, but I get what I mean. I understand where people are coming from as a person who hates a long movie.
Yeah, and that's surprising for you, you know, to me.
Listen, I cannot explain this anymore. It is not a time restriction. It is a content restriction. Do not blow smoke up my ass. If you have an hour and 30 minutes of content, don't blow 40 fucking minutes of content up my ass. I want to go home. Unless I'm being thoroughly entertained, then I will stay as long as possible. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not hard.
Yeah. Well, that's how I feel. You know, I don't care.
Yeah, I think honestly, I think everybody feels that way.
Mm-hmm.
I just have I have less of a tolerance for things that a lot of people like.
Yeah. Speaking of that, this has nothing to do with nothing. I was just reading an interview this morning with what's his name, Earl Urimich, the guy who did what's his name? He did what's the name of that damn movie back in the day with the space saucers and Will Smith and stuff, like Independence Day. He has that movie Moonfall out right now, and he made the comment.
Okay, yeah.
He made the comment that Star Wars and Marvel movies are like kind of making it hard to be a film maker because that's what people want to see. And I'm like, man, when I saw that, I said, damn, I never liked a damn movie he ever did. I didn't like Independence Day 1 or 2. I didn't like Eight-Legged Freaks. I haven't like a damn thing that
you don't like Independence Day?
No, I'm that.
You don't like Independence Day?
I'm that great big dissenter. I hated that damn movie. Everybody, well, yeah, I've mentioned that on the show.
Well, everyone, I would like to take the opportunity to tell you that I would like to make Montego watch Moonfall next week.
Oh shit, no way, man. We can stay the hell away from
that. What's happening next week? I think we're watching Moonfall.
Oh Jesus. Anyway, I don't even know why I brought it up, but it's just funny
to punish yourself because now we're watching Moonfall. Okay, anyway.
So, man, back to Jason Momoa. So, I think that's really nothing left to talk about Jason Momoa. He's going to be in
I mean, good. Congratulations, and also I'm sorry.
Yeah. Right.
I don't know. I don't know what else to say.
That's it. That's all you can say. Congratulations and my condolences. You know, hopefully we'll survive. Although everybody else's career has been doing pretty good with that movie, you know. Oh, man.
Has their career been doing good? What movies have these people been in besides Fast and the Furious? The only person who's done more movies than them are the people who left.
Well, yeah.
Which I think sheds a little bit light on the motivation behind The Rock's descent from the films.
Yeah, what? Idris Elba was in one of them, right? Just, wow.
Yes, he was in one of them.
Damn, how did they get him in there? But they did. And it was terrible.
I have no answers.
Woo! Helen Moran, she just been hanging around in there.
Fucking Charlize Theron, that always blows my mind.
Who?
Charlize Theron.
Oh, yeah, me too. Right. She don't have to do that.
No. She's had an Oscar.
Right. She don't have to do that, but
she's rich and she has an Oscar.
Yeah. Maybe she has fun.
Whatever.
Maybe,
you know what?
I've
never been in the movie. What the fuck do I know?
Yeah, what do I know? Right. That's a good form there. So, man, that's it for Jason Momoa. We're going to take a break. We're going to come out of this stuff, and we're going to come back, and we're going to one shot Peacemaker, man. So we'll be right back.
Peacemaker, yeah.
All right, man, we are back. It's time for the middle section of the show, man, in which we trade off from week to week doing different things, just making sure that we give our fans and the fans a variety. If it's your first time listening to the Fans of Patrol, welcome, man. Thank you for coming in. Put your feet up. We love you. How about that? If you are a returning person, then you know what to do, homie. Have a seat.
We're gonna be more rude to you since you've been here longer.
Put your feet on my
you get your own fucking beer out of the fridge.
Exactly. So, man. Oh boy. So this week we're doing Peacemaker, man. WB. Now, this is
WB,
not WB. Yeah, well, it's Warner
HBO.
Brothers. Oh, it is Warner Brothers, but it's HBO. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that those are very different.
Yeah, it's HBO Max, but it's a WB property, is what I meant to say.
Holy moly, everyone.
It is. So WB meaning straight from the Suicide Squad, Sean Gunn's creation, which was phenomenal. If you haven't seen that, I recommend that you go check that out.
The second one, Montego is specifically talking about.
Yeah.
The James Gunn one, yeah.
So Peacemaker had a extra scene in the Sean Gunn movie where he was, spoilers, dead, and then he was alive. And they under some kind of experiment or something. They had him in the morgue or something. He woke up. I did not realize who cared, because his character was cool, but he wasn't the star of the whole thing. But he was still interesting character in it, especially the dynamic between him and the Idris Elba character was really, really good. So some of these people were in the movie. I know the guy that he calls Diebeard was some of the
he was in the movie staff. The blonde woman
support staff, right? And so Peacemaker is getting out of jail, man. So he went to jail, and he's getting out of jail in this thing. Oh, before we do that though, I'm just rolling. Like we do always, it's time for the big one, the one. The word. One word, Tiff. What you got?
Fantastic.
Mine is phenomenal.
Yeah, it's really good.
So good, man. And nothing like anything else that's on TV that, it's just so surprising to me for them to give you something like this. And it has James Gunn written all over it. And my favorite thing in the world, on the planet Earth right now, is the damn theme song and dance routine that comes on at the beginning.
Oh my God, that dance routine. Totally unexpected. We laughed so hard.
Oh my God, did the damn eagle come in the end?
Lord have mercy, that eagle.
Everybody's frozen.
That's the eagle, I would say, is my most hard thing to swallow.
I love eagly, man.
Here's the thing, I don't hate it. It's just something that, like, if I let it get too much, you know what I mean? Like, if I thought about it too much, it would bother me. So I try not to think about it.
So in this show, they let you know that Peacemaker is still under the control of Waller. They show his little exploding head pack, and he's released, but it's conditional. He's being released to work with, Task Force X Argus, program. And he gets out and he starts meeting the team. He goes home, and they start introducing the team. Now, who's in this movie, this show, Tiff, just before, because I'm all over the damn place.
So John Cena, obviously, the main character. Danielle Brooks. Yeah. That's the girl who Adebayo. So she's like, you can tell. I've only watched the first episode, but you can tell that she's going to become much, much more important. Freddie Stroma. That's Vigilante. Chukwudi Iwuji.
Yeah,
Jennifer Holland.
Only other place I seen him in, he was in John Wick. He was like one of the bad guys, and not even a bad guy. He was like that woman that he had to kill. He was like her bitch or something like that. He was, so yeah.
Yeah, I haven't. There's a lot of the people in this I have not seen at all. The only people I have seen actually are Danielle Brooks and John Cena, basically. Oh, actually, the guy who he calls Diebeard.
He call that man Diebeard.
Steve Aji, I don't know how you say that. John Economos is his name in the
Economos.
In the film, in the movie show. Damn it.
Yeah.
But he is a comedian, and I've seen him in other stuff, including my favorite television show, You're the Worst. He plays like a bit character, or he's like a returning bit character on that show.
Yeah. So let me hit those spoilers since I was already spoiling. But so they introduced the team, the what's her name? Leto, is that her name? The Danielle
Who?
Brooks. Danielle
Oh,
Brooks.
her name in the show is yeah,
Yeah,
Leota.
yeah. So she has a girlfriend, and they're living in an apartment, and it's some little mysterious. They just need to take this job. You taking a job working for Argus just as needing money is amazing to
Oh,
me.
I need there's a little money.
Yeah, and he meets the leader of this team, and that's Mern. And they're telling them pretty much what's going on, right? Your life is not yours. You work for us. You're a piece of shit. We'll put you back. We'll explode your head. Blah 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 blah. But then he goes home to see his daddy, and woo wee, what a piece of shit the daddy is, boy. Flag flying upside down, racist as hell.
Yeah.
He played by the former Terminator from T2, and it looks so different than he did back then with that jacked up hair. On
I
top
think
of
he looks the same. He
and,
hasn't really I mean, he's aged, but also like he looks kind of the same.
yeah. I mean, his weight is pretty much in check and stuff like that, and he's just a raggedy looking dude, man. But I love when he comes.
Robert Patrick.
Yeah, he comes in and the eagle gives him a hug.
When he's like, that scene was in the trailer, and I'm really glad that a lot of scenes that were in the trailer were in the beginning, were in this first episode. They still work. I still found humor in them, like when he was like talking about asking him to get the camera and stuff. That was still funny.
Yeah,
But I'm glad there's gonna be like more surprises coming.
yeah. I mean, it's just off the top. It's like James Gunn at his best, man. Like, cause him and his father's having dinner and a beer, and the eagle was sitting at the dinner table. Like chilling with him. And I just find that kind of stuff just hilarious, man, because they like play it serious, and it's not like supposed to be something that we're supposed to be really paying attention to the ego, but you just can't help to pay attention to the damn ego sitting at the table.
I mean, here's the thing, everything that John Cena that says in this fucking show is hilarious. He is
I
so
agree.
sad, but he's like working to pretend like he's not sad. It's like the role he was born to play. Like, I would think that, like, if you don't like John Cena, I would urge you to watch this. I'd give it a try just because he's so funny in it.
Oh my God. He comes in, he's like, what he is like an out of date 17-year-old high school bully. Trying to do right. And that's all I keep seeing with his character. When he comes into the diner, which was in the trailer, we had got a shot of that. But even seeing more of that, he's just like clueless to the fact that he has on this ridiculous outfit and this helmet, and he's coming to go to work, and they like just making fun of him like they're the cool kids. But it's quick that they not the cool kids.
Yeah.
To me, you realize quickly you're not the cool kids. Y'all making fun of this dude, but y'all got flaws big time too. What you gonna say, Tim?
Well, he is, it's very similar in a lot of ways to, so he's a parody of a
Right.
superhero in a lot of ways, because he really truly believes that what he's doing is right.
Right.
That what he's doing is good. He's just kind of an idiot. But he's kind of like a version of Homelander that you like.
Yeah, he's totally the village idiot, that's for sure. And I don't even it's just like he's so human, that it's hilarious. Like,
well, like, even when he does make mistakes, somebody will say him, like, they're like, no, actually, and he's like, huh, I think you might be right.
Right. He's not stuck in the shit, right? But so he meets this woman, right? And
the woman that he takes home to fuck.
Yeah, and
I lost my fucking mind.
Here's the difference between, these Marvel is connected to Disney, and so everything is PG-13. But these DC movies, they like rated R hard,
Yeah, it's the first episode of Peacemaker. You saw some boobies.
You saw
and a lot of ass.
A lot of ass, and him standing around in his drawers and actual screwing. And then the chick started acting weird after. So she's all like, all strictly business. And so quickly, he starts doing his dance. He's enjoying the music, the glam hair band shit, which is just makes him even more ridiculous. And next thing you know, this killing machine, this action sequence just breaks into, oh my God. And it looks so good. It's not one point in time that woman was fighting that you was like, oh, look at the girl who just, trained for a day just to make it look like she was throwing this dude. No, she was good, man. I mean, the special effects and how they had this thing bouncing around the room and them fighting to the death was just like it was really good to watch. It really fun. It was a really fun scene. I dug it. What about you?
So speaking of that, there's one thing I'd like to say.
Yes.
This is in defense of Scream. I have not heard you yet complain about the fact that that very tiny blonde woman who clearly is kept trim and small so that we all think she's cute and would not be strong enough to beat any of those men's asses.
Oh, wait a minute. She's clearly got
fucking asses.
superpowers. She got superpowers.
I'm not talking about the girl he took home to fuck. I'm talking about the girl from the bar.
Oh,
his partner. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but she's not doing. She's a trained killer.
Get
she's
the fuck out of town. Get the fuck out of town. See the gaps we're willing to jump. The hoops we're willing to jump through for the things that we like.
There's no gap. She's a trained.
There's a huge loop.
The other one was just some silly little girl running around straight, still in high school.
But I think that the argument wasn't that she wasn't trained. The argument was that she was small.
It was. She was small and without any training and being that small.
Oh my Lord, have mercy. Okay. Anyway, what I like about this show and all of James Gunn's properties is that his superheroes are I mean, obviously fallible, but like things happen where they're like, oh, he has to use that helmet. He's never used it before. And even he's like, man, he fucks himself up doing it, right? Right. Like his heroes often like hurt themselves or find themselves in like ridiculous situations because even though they have superpowers or are like quote unquote special in some way, they still fuck shit up all the time, which I think is really funny.
Yeah, that woman came outside in their skimmies, jumped 15 feet in the air and landed, was about to land, I assume his crotch, and, everything explodes.
Yeah, he used the helmet has like a sonic pulse or something like that. And she turns into goo. When they showed me that, I mean, like, it was really funny.
It was like, God damn, so he's out there in a crater in the middle of the parking lot with, and then the bird comes out. And then he's so stupid. Like, he's sitting there with the bird in his drawers, out there in a bunch of rubble instead of like getting the hell out of there. It's just so
and I really like it because the bird gives him food, right? The bird gives him a possum, and that's traditionally like people say or whatever animal behavior is if one of your pack is too dumb to feed itself, you bring something to them. So this eagle has brought him a dum-dum gift.
Yeah. So he goes back to his pop's house. Well, no, I actually skipped that.
That's that. Yeah, that's the end. When he does earlier in the episode when he goes back to his dad's house, they do talk about like who shot him and stuff like that. This is the ending scene for this first episode is the fight and the explosion.
And I couldn't be happier, and I wanted more and more. And the good news is when it first came out, they gave you 3 episodes off the back, so you could just like really, really get involved in it. I think this show is phenomenal. I think it's great. And I want more of this, man. More of this,
Yeah, I mean, something we can agree on. It's good.
Yeah, that's wonderful, man. Really zany, but really rock solid in how it was put together. Really a well thought out too. So I love this show. Give me more. So that's all I have to say about that. What about you?
Perfect. Yeah, I think people should give it a try.
Yeah, 100%. You enjoy yourself. We're going to take our final break, and we'll be right back in jiffy. All right, man, we're back, man. Hey, God damn it, it's Black History Month, and we have nothing for Black History so far. Goodness gracious. Happy Black History Month, Tiff.
Yes, happy Black History Month. Happy Black History Month. I just drooled on myself. I do think it's because it was January when we made these plans, so we need to do planning for next week.
Right. We yeah. So typically a low time of movie go getting there, but so we decided to do something that came out at I believe the end of the year or the first of the year. It was either the last week of December or the first week of January. Don't Look Up, 2021, rated R, 2 hours 18 minutes, comedy drama sci-fi, directed by Adam McKay. So Tiff, who is in this movie here?
Okay, so our cast is Leonardo DiCaprio, Jennifer Lawrence, Meryl Streep, Kate Blanchett, Rob Morgan, people who don't care, Jonah Hill, Mark Rylance, Tyler Perry, Timothy Chalamet, Ron Perlman, and then the people that Montego forgot were in the movie: Ariana Grande and Scott Mescudi, aka Kid Cudi.
Yeah, I totally forgot they was in this damn movie. I'm like, were they? Oh Jesus! So, man, before we roll super duper in one direction, it's time for one. Word. One word, Tiff. What you got?
Better.
Better.
Mm-hmm.
Explain.
Better than everyone says it is.
Oh, I agree with you, because people like, this is the worst shit ever, and I'm watching it. I'm like, I hate to say this, but I felt like it was okay. That's my one
I
word.
liked it. I didn't even think it was okay. I thought it was pretty good, actually.
Okay. People hated this movie. People are
I
hating
know
this
it.
movie.
It's a definite satire, like for
Yeah.
sure. It's almost like a parody of Armageddon, which we'll be talking about.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that that's always a hard market.
I enjoyed watching it when I did. I mean, is it gonna stick with me and be a stellar film? No, but not every film does that. But I did enjoy it. I thought it was okay. So
Yeah.
let's hit those spoilers so we can move forward. So uh, so Tiff,
Yes.
this thing starts out how?
So, well, Jennifer Lawrence, which right off the bat, I want to talk about her hair, which I don't hate. So let's not
Her hair,
get
her
into that. Yeah, she's like the blunt bangs, and it's just kind of shaved right here. I have no issue with the hair. Okay. But
What's wrong?
she's in another movie that must have been filmed at the same time, and
Same
she
movie?
has the same haircut, and it almost makes me feel like it's why. I guess I never until this very moment thought about why maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I just saw two stills from this movie and they seemed really different. I'll have to look into it. More on that later. But the haircut is it does get talked about, but it's whatever. I didn't mind it, but that was my assumption coming into it.
She looked like a redhead Vulcan. That's what she looked like to be. Like she could be on
I
the
can kind of see that. Yeah.
Trek,
So anyway, to the plot of the movie, she's a PhD candidate. We don't really know that yet. We just think she's maybe working as a scientist. She sees a comet in the sky. When you see a comet and it hasn't been identified before, you get to name it. So it's like a big deal that she found it, and she invites who ends up being her professor and all the PhD candidates to like do calculations based on the trajectory of this comet, which they then accidentally find out is due to impact Earth.
Right. And so I'm getting a lot of Armageddon vibes. I'm getting a lot of Deep Impact, all those movies. Yeah, that had Morgan Freeman in it.
Hey, everyone, remember that movie that you forgot? Deep Impact.
Had Elijah Wood was in that movie.
I don't care who was in it, even though I do love Elijah Wood.
Right. So yeah, she's a smarty arty, and she tracked the trajectory, and it's kind of at first nobody knows that they're in danger. They're just kind of like, huh.
Well, none of the PhD candidates really realize it besides her, because he invites her to stay. It's like an extinction level event, so they call like Space Force, whatever, and they get connected to a person who's like in charge of the Planetary Defense Coordinator's office. And so when those chain of events are triggered, it leads to a meeting with the president.
Right. And it's like I'm enjoying the pacing of it. And I like it's a different Leonardo DiCaprio that I've seen.
Yeah, I thought he did a really good job in this. I mean, like, I don't ever think he does a bad job, really, but like I thought he was doing some really good work here. Potentially more than the movie does. That's why I maybe like this movie a lot more, even more than right? And it's even more than thinking it's just okay, is like the performances are really good. So a lot of times they go to the president, they don't get a meeting right away, right? They keep getting
them like scumbags, Tiffo. Yes. They had them sit in that damn room for like 18 hours and stuff in the same clothes off the plane, and then they rescheduled it on them?
The next day they were there for they'd been there for 24 or 48 hours or some shit, and then they're like, no, you have to come back. And then when they do, they don't. The United States government doesn't take it seriously.
No, nobody takes it seriously. Nobody wants to even look at anything serious. I mean, everything in the world was more important to them than their like 5-minute briefing. I don't even think were they allowed to sit down?
Yeah, they sat down. So here's, I think, where people probably, I didn't obviously, well, maybe not obvious, but before the show, I don't read anybody else's reviews or anything because I don't want my opinion to be influenced by other people's thoughts. But sometimes you just kind of like, you can hear like the whispers of like people didn't really like it, or it's got a low score on Rotten Tomatoes, or whatever you happen to come across when you're like getting ready for the show. Okay. So what I'm about to say is that this is the part of the story where it starts to become more like a satire, because what they're showing us is stuff like how much political red tape is in front of things that are even extraordinarily important, or like how much our news media relies on like the interaction of social media. So like what you're seeing circulate sometimes is like clickbait and things like that, because people just want to know. So basically what happens then is that they realize the government doesn't give a shit, right?
Yeah.
But she has a fiance or a boyfriend that has connections with news.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So he gets them an interview with the New York Times, but the New York Times doesn't want to support them because they can't get the article to circulate because the Ariana Grande character announced her engagement to Kid Cudi. Right. So like, I mean, like, these are the kind of things that, like, when I talk about like a movie that does a good job of making a point about stuff without looking at the camera and saying, the news is all generated by social media clicks, right? I don't need you to fucking. So, but I also get that people might get, because the whole movie is kind of like that. Like, people are too much on their cell phones, right? It's called Don't Look Up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So like, it could be like a little bit beaten over the head, right? People could feel like they're being beaten over the head by the message.
I didn't feel like that way.
I didn't either, but I don't know.
I mean, because the movie did charm and stuff. Like when the general was charging them for White House snacks,
Yeah.
And they finally get in there, and it's like nobody's like blown off their cheeks with this news that they're telling them. They're kind of like, we're gonna have to handle this some kind of way, and then the beat just goes on. And like you said, every story in the world that means nothing is more important than even the end of the world. Nobody is listening,
Right. And what's insane is like when they're talking to the people at the New York Times, right? So they go on this talk show,
right?
Called Rip It or some shit.
Like right. Tyler Perry and
Tyler Perry is the host.
Right.
And they're just like, oh, Janine. Like, right? They're like the morning coffee shows that people are just like, it's fluff pieces and things that make you feel good. So they like dismiss him. And when this happens, and the New York Times or whatever the newspaper is in the movie just figures out that they're not going to get any more clicks off of it, even though everyone in that room like believed in the science and knew that it was correct. They were just like, fucking whatever, we're not going to promote this anymore.
Yeah, which was nuts. And the whole thing was like the Jennifer Lawrence character gets on there and she freaks out, kind of, like, this is not a joke. And they're like, we don't like her. We like him, but we don't like her. He can come back, but she can't. And I'm like, God damn, listen, y'all, listen what's happening. The world is coming to an end. Nobody believes it. So
right, but that's like I like those subtle nods to like fanaticism and like how even a smart person can be made to seem crazy, or how people can become easily radicalized or indoctrinated because Leonardo DiCaprio, who knows all of the science, there's just like a heavy like intoxication with like the fame and finally being listened to and found attractive and interesting.
Right.
Stuff like that. But I really like it when I really like the Jennifer Lawrence character in this movie, because I feel like that's how I would be at the end of the world. Where I'd just be like, why would I care?
Yeah, because she gets like that pretty quickly, because she's not being listened to. And then, oh boy, he starts messing around with the Fox News host, like all of a sudden she finds him attractive and she starts hitting on him and stuff. And next thing you know, that's her man, I mean, and they're not even hot. They're going to all kind of state dinners, and he didn't forgot all about his wife and his boys and stuff like that.
Oh, who was played by Melanie Linsky, who I love.
Who was she?
She's the wife. Oh yeah, she's in a lot of stuff. But I mean, I can't think of like what you would know her from. Like, there's stuff I know her from.
It's cool.
But
so once he starts messing around with the lady, he totally loses himself. And they only have like what 18 months into the end of the world, right? Like it's
yeah. No. It's 6 months.
6 months. And they have there's no real plan, right? There's no real plan to like, try to, do something like get the Earth out of trouble or something like that. But all of a sudden, toward the middle end, it's like we're gonna get serious and trying to save the Earth, right? Because all of a sudden, I don't know why they start.
It was the election. She had gotten caught in a sex scandal. So right. To like turn it around, they decide to put money into the military. And I think that a lot of subtle comedy is achieved in some of these scenes where like they cut between her son talking about what he did. He's like, I put together an extortionate budget, right? And then she goes, she calls it like an emergency defense fund. Right. It's like the way that like they take, and I think that those things are really funny and well done. But then they have that Ron Perlman character who they have to have volunteer to like shoot the asteroid out of space
by himself. the American hero, right? And the old astronaut.
He's gonna like a different time.
He's gonna like single-handedly go up there and save the Earth by himself, Well,
because it was a suicide mission. They were going to shoot themselves into the rocket and explode. Like he knew he wasn't going to come back, and so like they were like talking about him, and he was saying all this terrible shit, even like as he's being launched into space.
right.
And they're like, he was a different time. The guy who stole the snacks was like, it's a different time. But then I think that the part of the movie that like maybe was because at this point you're like an hour in-ish. The rockets turn around. They don't go to space. And I was like, oh my fucking God, what's going to happen in this movie? I honestly thought at this point in the movie that nothing would happen. Like you thought the asteroid wasn't. Yes. And so they would have to live what the rest of the movie was going to be them dealing with the shame of like all the things that they did, thinking that the world was going to end. I guess I didn't know where they could go, but it was actually the exact opposite of that.
Yeah, they double down on everything at this point. I mean, like, because now after that failed, that's when your girl Jennifer Lawrence just starts saying like F it. She picks up the street thug character and stuff like that. The
Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah. That becomes her man, right? I mean,
and like I think they're supposed to be similarly aged, but she just looks so much older than him.
Yeah,
she's like, I think Jennifer Lawrence is 29 or 30, and Timothy Chalamet is 22 or something like that. But I guess that small age difference back then makes you look really old,
right? So another character that completely screwed up everything was the Steve Jobs ex character, the billionaire who had the think tanks, and he was such a weirdo that he wasn't going to listen to anybody else, and his think tank and his way was the best way, and he convinced the president and everybody that whatever he was going to have going on was going to work, and then when it didn't,
because there was like what 400 or something for $300 trillion worth of precious minerals on the so he was like, well, we can do both. We can mine it and then explode it.
Didn't happen.
Which is such an American, like, hell yeah, take it for what it's worth and explode it.
Right.
And don't share it with anyone else.
So, so that's pretty much at that point, everything crumbles. Like when people start realizing that it was over, him and his girlfriend broke up with the Fox News host. So I just say because she looked totally like a Fox News host.
She does look like a Fox News host.
That was over with. He goes home to his family and his boys, and I thought it was cool that the wife didn't like sit up there and be like, "Oh no, you cheated on me." She's like, "We all about to die," because.
Well, she also was like, "I fucked our friend in college."
Yeah. So
they was like, "All right." I think it was mostly. I really actually liked the ending of this movie.
It was unexpected because I was really expecting something else to happen, and for
them to be saved.
Yeah, I mean, but them spending their last moments just chilling, no, at any cost, because shit was like exploding all over. You could hear it in the background, and they kept the conversation going, trying to be normal up until the last minute, ignoring it. And so, once that happened, I was just kind of like, well, damn, nobody left.
But in like some ways, I enjoyed the like, so like when nothing matters, right?
Right.
But you can still be decent and you can still be loving. That's a good message. I don't know. Like, I thought that, like, I also really like an ending where they're like inevitability, or it's sad, but shit, fucking stuff's sad, man.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I don't know, I had a good time.
Yeah, that's it didn't like, I wasn't like appalled at the ending. I was just like, oh, I'm surprised they literally did that. But oh well, But then when you think about the trajectory of the whole movie, then what else was they gonna do? So yeah. I thought this movie was okay. I'm not pumping my fist at it. So you be the judge, man. It was enjoyable to watch, and it definitely had some funny, subtle moments, because most of the humor was subtly funny. So I recommend, if you don't got nothing else to do.
I recommend it even if you do have something else to do.
Oh shit! All right. Well, that's it, Tiff. We came to do the damn thing. We got it done. Wow. So next week, man, we have no idea what we're doing. We're not doing Moonfall or whatever the hell.
Moonfall. See, no, we don't. We're doing something else.
Oh my God, please no. Especially to the theaters for that.
Ooh, I know. Yeah. Okay, fine.
So, man, I'm the host of Fans of Patrol. My name is Montego. Mr. Button all the way up to the top with me is my smooth, sultry, sexy co-host, Miss Tiffelby. Say goodbye.
Oh no. Oh, it's been a pleasure as always.
Okay, and until next week, we will be
on patrol.
Time.